Let's say it together. Lightning shatters the darkness, the night herons shriek, the first soft snow, leaves of the odd gentle Balaam. Let us arrange these leafy flowers in the bowl, since there is no rice. An ancient pond sleeps untroubled until suddenly a frog leaps.
Good morning, everyone. Pam and I are thrilled that so many of you have come out for this service this morning in this rather inclement weather we're having. And we had an absolutely fabulous time working on this service. As you've noticed, poetry can become the welcome in the service. Haiku poems became the reading for the lighting of the chalice, and you'll get to hear lots of different poems in these coming moments. In the process of searching for poems, we looked far and wide for poems from across the world, or poems of a diverse group of people. So you'll hear poems from Black poets, from Filipina poets, from members of the LGBTQ community, from someone with South Indian heritage. And what we learned in that was how beautiful it is to hear all those different voices on this topic of how nature poetry can transform us. We also chose poems from older folks and younger folks. And my one encouragement to you this morning is to find ways to include poetry in your life. Because poems can speak to all of us every day. Every day. If you want some ideas about how to do this, you can talk to me and Pam after the service. We do have some poetry books in Joy Library. I have lots of poetry books that would be available for loan if you're interested. And one thing we chose to do was to include some hyper-local poems, poems written by me and by Pam. And those poems are included in your insert in the order of service, and they are beautifully illustrated by Jeffrey Saddam, original drawings from him. Now I have a little story to tell you because Pam and I chose the poem I'm going to read a long time ago, before we had any idea what the weather was going to be like. And then I walked in this morning and I was asking Chuck for an order of service, and he said, well, do you have any poems about the temperature being below zero? I said, actually, that's the title of my poem. So here I go. Below zero. You are the reason a busy trail offers me a solo hike. You quiet the birds and keep the squirrels hiding in their nests, making the only sound the crisp crunch of my hiking boots pressing into the snow. You give clarity and simplicity to the woods. You make me keenly alert, checking frozen eyelashes and cool fingers under double layers of gloves, the tension adding to the intensity of this experience. I want to thank Jeff for the beautiful artwork, which looks amazingly like my backyard, which he has never seen. My little North Albany backyard has one tree in it, but it's enormous. And so I spend a lot of time contemplating it and thinking that probably the people who first had the house built in 1929 put the seed down because the tree is really huge and very interesting. Maple. I own a tree, an aged maple, shading the entire backyard, quilting it with leaves each fall, with seeds each spring. No, I own the rights to a square of property on which an ancient black maple tree resides, sharing its last years with my household. But no, again, perhaps I own merely the right to sit, watching the twilight open to the first stars beneath the spreading branches of one venerable tree.